Yes, sir.
Okay. Hello, Rutuparna. Please introduce yourself.
So, namaste. I am from Bhubaneswar, Khordha. I have completed my schooling from DAV Public School, Chandrasekharpur. I have completed my LLB from Kids School of Law, Bhubaneswar in the year 2020, and I have completed my LLM in the year 2021 from Jindal Global Law School. My hobby is to cook traditional Odia dishes.
Okay. In which subject you complete your LLM?
Sir, I have completed my specialization in international trade and investment law.
What is international law? Hello. Hello. Okay.
Sorry, sir, there was some network connection, sir.
Okay. Okay. What is international law?
Sir, international law means it is a regime of free flow of goods and services, and it is a process where goods and services are traded with some certain rules and regulations. And in
My
case of
question is my question is what is international law?
Sir, international law means the law which governs different countries throughout the world by setting certain rules and regulations.
Is there any sanction behind the international law to enforce for every law there must be a sanction. What is the sanction behind international?
Sir, the sanction behind international law is that International law proposes certain rules and regulations to certain countries, and it is regulated by International Court of Justice. And if any country does not follow certain rules and regulations, the disputes are regulated and decided in the International Court of Justice.
Which countries are the permanent members of the Security Council?
So the countries which are permanent members of the Security Council are China, Russia, UK. Sir, other countries I do not remember now.
USA, Germany?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. What were your subjects, optional subjects in judicial service exams?
So my optional subjects in judicial services examination is law of crimes and law of torts, personal law, and property law.
Okay. What is strict liability under tort?
Strict liability under tort means the liability which is imposed on a person, even if the person was not negligent enough in doing that work, and the person has done every possible thing to prevent that harm. Still, if damage occurs, then person will be strictly liable. There are three conditions for the strict liability: if non-natural use of land has been made, if certain dangerous thing has escaped from the land. These conditions impose strict liability.
Then what is absolute liability?
Absolute liability, it means uh, in strict liability was the English law. That's why in India absolute liability rule was brought, which was different from strict liability, and it was prevailing to social and economic conditions of the Indian society. It means if any hazardous and dangerous industry is setting up its unit somewhere, then if dangerous things escape from that particular industry, then the particular industry will be absolutely liable, and compensation which will be provided by the industry will be proportional to the magnitude of the enterprise.
What do you mean by cognizance?
Cognizance means it is the judicial application of mind to certain to the offences which are made out in a particular case.
If the session judge is empowered to take cognizance of a case of an offense,
Sir, session judge is not empowered to take cognizance of a particular case. The cognizance is taken by the magistrate, and then it is committed to the court of session after taking of cognizance.
what is complaint?
Complaint means it is registered in orally or in writing by a particular complainant with the grievances which the complainant is suffering, and it is defined under section 2 of the Criminal Procedure Code. It's an allegation which is made in orally or writing by the complainant, and it does not include police report.
What is FIR?
FIR means first information report. The first information report, which is registered by an informant under the police station, and it is registered by the officer in charge of the police station in a book prescribed by the state government. And if an informant gives information in orally or in writing, then it will be reduced in a register book in the form of writing, and it will be signed by the informant. If the officer in charge of the police station does not receive FIR, then the informant can, with the help of registered post, can send it to the superintendent of the police of a particular district regarding regarding the complaint which the informant wants to make, and the superintendent will take further action in the local area.
Can a police investigate in a non-cognizable offense?
Sir, the police can investigate in a non-cognizable offense if magistrate gives permission to investigate in a non-cognizable offense.
What is bailable offense?
Bailable offense means the offense where the court is bound to give bail. Court cannot use its discretion to whether to grant bail or not. It is granted. This is called as bailable offense, and it is defined under section 2 of the CR Criminal Procedure Code.
Is there any limitation for taking cognizance of offense?
Sorry, sir, I do not know the answer.
What is mortgage?
Mortgage means it is a specific transfer of interest in an immovable property. This is by advancement of loan or payment of some amount and certain pecuniary liability which rises.
What is gift?
Gift is a voluntary transfer of property from donor to from one person to another person without any consideration. Gift should be transferred by the donor to the donee, and it should be transferred during if the gift uh, if the donee dies before the acceptance of the gift, then gift becomes invalid, and it is defined under Section 123 of the Transfer of Property Act.
What do you mean by attested by a witness?
So, attestation of witness, it means after the executant has signed the particular document, attesting witness also needs to sign that particular document. Attesting witness may not see the executant, but executant must see the attesting witness. There needs to be minimum two attesting witness.
A person has reared fish in a tank. The fish are in the tank. Whether that fish is immovable property or movable property.
So that property will be sorry, sir, I'm not able to give this answer.
What are the requirements for a valid Hindu marriage?
The requirements for a valid Hindu marriage, a particular person should not be having a spouse living before the marriage. The both the spouses should be of sound mind. They should not be of unsound mind. The bride must have completed the age of 18, and the groom must have completed the age of 21. There should be free consent between the parties. The parties must not belong to the relation of subpinda or prohibited relationship if customs or usages prevent. Then the rituals and ceremonies of either parties should be followed, and along with that, Saptapadi should be followed.
Saptapadi is a must for every Hindu marriage.
Sir, Sir, I'm not sure. I think Saptapadi is essential for every Hindu Marriage Act as per Section 7 of the Hindu Marriage Act.
X is a woman. She married Y. Both are Hindus. She married Y a Hindu. What substantial landed property and building in Bhubaneswar. Then Y died after 1 month of the marriage. After that, X again married to another man and went to live in the house of her second husband. Will X take the property left by her deceased husband?
Sir, I'm not sure. I think X will X cannot take the property of the deceased husband.
Okay. What is estoppel?
Estoppel means if a person has told another person or his representatives regarding truth of certain facts and made those persons and representatives believe that those facts are true. Later, the person cannot deny that these facts are not true. The person is stopped from denying the particular statement which the person has made earlier to other persons, showing the truth of statement.
There is a promissory note. Let me check. Check has been issued by Mr. X. For dishonor of that check, a case was filed against him. X denied his signature. How the magistrate will prove that signature? Or the complainant will prove the signature?
Sorry,
Whether it
sir.
will be signature? How the signature will be proved?
Sorry, sir. I'm not able to tell this answer.
Okay. Then what is robbery?
Robbery. It's theft. It's the aggravated form of theft and extortion. Robbery is defined if it's an aggravated form of theft and extortion. It is defined under section 390 of the Indian Penal Code. It is of two types: theft converted to robbery, extortion converted to robbery. Robbery. In case of theft converted to robbery, if a person attempts to take away or takes away certain articles, certain properties, and as a result, it causes a fear of voluntary causes a fear of death, hot, wrongful restraint, or fear of instant death, hot, wrongful restraint. It is theft converted to robbery. In case of extortion converted to robbery, a person who in presence of another in the presence causes another person fear of instant death, hurt, and wrongful restraint, and thereby induces the person who is put in fear to deliver the property being extorted immediately. It is extortion converted to robbery.
What is dacoity?
Dacoity means when robbery is committed by five or more persons or persons aiding in the commission of crime or attempting in the commission of the crime. It is called as dacoity.
Then what is transport malice?
The theory of transferred malice means if a person intends and with the knowledge that he wants to kill another person, but without intending or without knowledge that it will likely to kill another person, causes death of another person, then it will amount to culpable homicide not amounting to murder, and it will be considered as if the person intended and had the knowledge to kill that particular person.
What is wrongful restraint?
Wrongful restraint, it means when a particular person is being stopped or is not given freedom from proceeding in a particular direction in which a person has a right to proceed, then it is known as wrongful restraint. It is defined under 339 of the Indian Penal Code.
What is assault?
Assault, it means whoever makes any gestures or any preparations which makes apprehensions in the mind of the people that the person who makes gestures or any preparations will cause hurt to that persons, then it amounts to assault. And uh, gestures and preparations are important part of assault. It is defined under 351 of the Indian Penal Code.
X and Y are husband wife. They are married under the Hindu law. Y did not bear any child. X repeatedly told Y that you are a barren lady. And can Y claim divorce on this ground?
So, why cannot claim divorce on this ground? Because, as per the conditions which are described in the Hindu Marriage Act, this is not the condition for divorce which can be given to wife if wife is not bearing any child.
No, why filed the divorce petition? Not husband is filing.
So why file divorce petition then? Why can file divorce? The wife who has filed divorce petition, divorce can be granted because ex was treating wife with cruelty, and it is one of the ground of the Hindu Marriage Act, section 13.
Apart from cruelty, if any additional ground is available for the wife to claim divorce from the husband,
Yes, sir. Additional grounds are available for the wife to claim divorce from the husband if husband is uh, as is suffering from bestiality, if husband is having another spouse before marriage, if marriage has occurred before wife's marriage has occurred before 18 years of marriage, then 18 years of 15 years of marriage, then the wife can repudiate the marriage at the after becoming the age of 15, but should be before 18 years. And if maintenance has been granted under any provision, if husband is not giving a maintenance after it's been granted, and if husband is treated with wife with sodomy or bestiality. So these are the
when the
additional.
wife is not entitled for maintenance on section 124(5) of the Share, when the wife is not entitled to get maintenance under section 125 of the Share.
So wife is not entitled to get maintenance under 125 CRPC if wife after divorce become remarries, if wife was involved in adultery, if both husband and wife were living separately with mutual consent, and there was no reasonable cause for which wife was living separately from her husband, if wife has so these are the grounds for which maintenance cannot be granted to wife under section 125 CR.
Okay, I'll give you the feedback on your interview after the second interview.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Rutuparna,
Yes, sir.
yes. Can you tell me what is the difference between confession and plead guilty?
Sorry, sir. It was not audible, sir.
Confession and pleading guilty. What is the difference?
Sir, so according to me, confession is recorded by the magistrate under section 164 CRPC after explaining that confession can be used as a evidence against the particular accused. And after that, when confession is accu- made by the accused, and magistrate then signs it, and it is being recorded. But pleading. Guilty. So I'm not sure. I think pleading guilty is done in case of plea bargaining. If accused pleads guilty and the offense whose punishment is less than 7 years or 7 years, then accused can be granted of a lesser offense, and it is done in the way of plea bargaining.
Okay. Can you tell me whether divorced lunatic wife can claim maintenance under Section 125 CRPC?
So divorced and lucrative.
Lunatic. Divorced
Lunatic.
and lunatic.
Yes, sir. Divorced and lunatic can claim maintenance under 125 CRPC. As per 125 CRPC, if the wife is divorced and not remarried, then it can claim. And lunatic is not described as any barrier for not claiming maintenance.
Okay. What is a bench warrant?
Sorry, sir.
What do you understand by formal arrest?
So I'm not sure. Formal arrest means the arrest, the procedure where the arrest is done by tying with handcuff, and a particular person is brought from the particular society, locality, or the house to the police custody.
What is the evidentiary value of the confession of the co-accused?
The evidentiary value of the confession of the co-accused, yes, it is admissible if in a same trial two accused are tried and another accused gives confession against other accused, then it will be considered as a good evidentiary value and it will be admissible.
What is a probate?
Probate means if a deceased has made a will before dying, and after the person dies, then the legal heirs have to prove it in the court regarding the particular essentials of the will, and they have to probate the will. Then only they will get the benefit of will. Within 7 days, it needs to be done.
Okay. What is estate?
Estate means if a person is having no legal heirs, then the property will be devolved and transferred to the government, and the government will take care of all the rights and liabilities of the property.
What is the present position of right to death? Whether it is included within right to life, right to die.
So, as per Gyan versus State of Punjab, the right to life does not include right to death. It is unconstitutional.
But that's not the present law. That has been already overruled.
Sorry, sir. Uh, I'm not able to recall, sir.
Okay. What do you understand by non-compos mentis?
Sorry, sir. I'm presently not able to recall this.
What is the difference between an affray and a riot?
Affray means if two or more people are fighting in a public place, this is known as affray. Riot means when the members of the unlawful assembly are involved, when the members of the unlawful assembly, force and violence is caused by the members of unlawful assembly, it is known as rioting.
What do you mean by locus poenitentiae test?
Sorry, sir. Presently, I'm not able to recall it.
Okay. What was wrong with Citizenship Amendment Act that it was challenged so much? Can you tell me?
Yes, sir. So the Citizens Amendment Act was challenged because first previously 1st January 1966 was considered as the date for the deletion of foreign citizens or for the addition of the foreign citizens. But now they brought a mechanism, that is they wanted to make 24th March 1971 as the date, but it is being challenged and it is being challenged, and they want to make it to 1971.
What changes will you suggest in the judiciary in order to make sure that cases are disposed of faster?
The changes to be introduced in judiciary are first thing, the offences which can be compounded. Those offences should be compounded, compromised. Second, the the cases can be disposed by out of court settlement. There is a provision for that by different methods like arbitration, conciliation, mediation, and through lok adalat. And third, I would say plea bargaining can be accepted as the method in case of offences of punishment of 7 years or less than that. As a result, they will be charged of lesser offences and they won't face the lengthy trials. And in this way, the court's time, valuable time, will not be wasted, and the cases will be disposed of quickly.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Rutuparna. We'll proceed to the feedback now.
Thank you, sir. Sir, namaskar.
Namaste.
Hello, Rutuparna.
Yes, sir.
Your, mm, your introduction is a lengthy one. Try to make your introduction brief. Brief. I am
Yes.
so and so. My education qualification is so. Presently, I am doing this. This was. When international law, my first question was to international because postgraduate degree on international law related subject. Definitely will be expected. Some questions are to be put to you on that international.
Yes, sir.
International law are the rules which are accepted by the states for their mutual relationship, mutual intercourse with each other. That is the definition. Rules, custom, conventions, those are accepted by member states for their relationship with each other.
Yes, sir.
That is international. Permanent member, you told you, German and US are important persons, important members. Strict liability and absolute strict liability is you have to understand this Ryland versus Fletcher case. Whoever keeps a dangerous weapon, dangerous premises, dangerous charter, let it keep it his own very strict liability, nothing. Some exceptions are, but in case of absolute liability, no exception, nothing.
Yes, sir.
That is bis major, that is act of God, all those things, some exception are there. So for absolute liability is such poisonous substance. That is absolute liability. That is Delhi case. That has been developed by Indian Supreme Court. Cognizance, taking legal notice of commission of offence is cognizance. That will be a brief answer. Taking legal notice of a court that somebody has committed an offence.
Yes, sir.
That is cognizance. Then session judge can take cognizance only when a case is committed to it. After commitment of the case, the session judge takes cognizance of the case. In certain cases, also defamation against president, etc., that provision is also available.
Yes, sir.
Taking cognizance. Complaint means any allegation made orally or in writing to a magistrate. To a magistrate is very important. Magistrate means judicial magistrate with a view to taking legal action under the criminal procedure code that a person, whether known or unknown, has committed an offence.
Yes, sir.
Is you have the clarity, but you see, you have to produce some bare act language.
Yes,
We
sir.
cannot add anything to the law. That is the language of the bare act. That should be more impressive.
Yes, sir.
Then, if any report given in first in point of time regarding commission of cognizable offence, that is a first information report given to the police, first in point of time, regarding commission of a cognizable offence. That is a fact.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then non-cognizable case in non-cognizable magistrate by order you forgot. Only when magistrate passed permission is not by order of the magistrate.
Yes, sir.
Valuable offence means a case or offence which is made valuable as and shown valuable in the first schedule of the code, made valuable by any other law for the time in force.
Yes, sir.
Limitation for taking cognizance that is 468 of the CRPC is there.
Yes, sir.
5 6 months up to 2 years that you go through it. That for section 468. That is the
Yes.
limitation for taking cognizance. Mortgage is transfer of an interest in specific immovable property as security for payment of one interest only as given as security for payment of debt. This you are like or payment of loan, advance or to be advanced. Gift is voluntary transfer of existing property made by a person called donor to the person holding without consideration, and that gift must be accepted by the donor during lifetime of the donor. That is required,
Yes, sir.
and we are still capable of giving. Then attested with reference document as defined in the Transport Property Act, when two or more witnesses have seen the executant signing the document in their presence, or they have received personal acknowledgement from the executant that he has executed that document or signed that document, and each of them will sign in presence of the executant. It is not necessary both of persons must simultaneously sign. That is, who have seen the executant signing the document, or they have received personal acknowledgement from the executant that he has signed it, and they
Yes.
put their signature in presence of the executant. My
Yes.
question was whether fish in the tank is a movable property or immovable property. So long the fish is in the tank, that is immovable property. Once it is removed from the water of the tank, that becomes movable property. Because land benefit arising out of the land. There is a
Yes.
benefit arising out of the land, that fish is immovable property here. Best example, suppose a fisherman had thrown a net to the tank. So long the fish is in the tank, inside the water, that is immovable property. Once it comes out, that is movable property. That is movable property. Then,
Yes.
then Saptapadi is not a must. Your concept is not clear. You go through the provision. For a valid marriage, the marriage is to be performed either customary rituals of either party to the marriage. When Saptapadi is prescribed, Jati Saptapadi Achi, when Saptapadi is prescribed, then marriage becomes binding after Saptapadi is. If a particular custom doesn't permit Saptapadi, no necessity.
Yes,
But
sir.
it is provided if in a particular custom Saptapadi is to be followed, then marriage becomes binding after Saptapadi is done. So
Yes, sir.
Saptapadi is not required for the marriage, unless there is a custom.
Yes, sir.
Then second time what I married, this property again. You forgot a very important part. You told no, X married a Y and Hindu who died leaving substantial property. So if a Hindu male dying intestate, X is his class 1 heir, she will succeed the property.
Yes, sir.
And that property is vested with her. Immediately, very moment died, property came to her. And the second marriage, she will go with that property.
Yes, sir.
Did you follow?
Yes, sir.
Estoppel. Estoppel is any act, declaration, or omission by which a person made another to thing to another to believe a particular thing to be true. If a person by his act, declaration or omission made another person to believe a thing to be true, and in such case, in a suit between that person and that person, in both the person who had made another person to believe the thing to be true, he cannot deny the truth of this. This is a rule of evidence. If a person, by his act, declaration, or omission, made another person to believe a thing to be true, and on that belief, that other person has acted upon, then in a suit between that person and the person who made that person to believe, that person cannot deny the truth of the same. What he had stated, what he had done. That is rule of it.
Yes, sir.
Signature, signature, when there is a disputed signature, that is to be proved by examining the person who is acquainted with the handwriting or who has seen him writing the handwriting signature, or by examining through handwriting by sending expert opinion. That can be,
Yes.
which is admitted. Robbery, theft becomes robbery while committing theft or while carrying out the property of theft. Offender for that end causes an injury, grievous hurt, etc. Wrongful extent, that is robbery. Extortion also, you are some extent, you are also correct, but you are unable to express it within few words. But you are making that answer lengthy.
Yes, sir.
So, if committing extortion, then an instant fear of death is given, instant fear of because of death is given, that is robbery.
Yes, sir.
Then transport malice, transport if a culpable homicide is committed, while committing if a person causes death of another person, death of a person of whom we are not intended to cause the culpable homicide, then though you are not intended to cause the death of that person, then he will be liable in the same manner, whether he is culpable homicide not amounting to murder or amounting to murder as the case. That is
Yes, sir.
transport. Wrongful restraint, who restrain a person, wrongfully restrain a person to proceed in any direction, that is wrongful restraint. That is assault. You are also in a gesture or preparation, causing apprehension in the mind of another, that immediate force will be used. Gesture or preparation causing there must be an
Yes,
apprehension that immediate force will be used. Additional ground for this divorce is suffering from bestiality, guilty. He is
yes,
guilty of rape, sodomy, or bestiality. The husband is guilty, found guilty by a court. Wife is not entitled to maintenance. You are also living in adultery without any reason, living separately, and having sufficient means also. You have
yes,
sufficient means to maintain. You are forgetting it. It is very important matter. Yes, you are first thing, you are committing mistake by giving long answers. You try to answer, conceptualize. What is your concept? What is your understanding of that part? You are not
yes,
expected to answer in the same manner in which you had answered the questions in your main examination. Your
yes,
answer, you are appearing on interview, 100 marks are there in the question, that is very limited questions are to be put to judge your personality and suitability for the post. That is to be considered. Be
yes, sir.
confident, try to minimize, brief your answer, definitely you will succeed. Thank
Thank you, sir. Sir, namaskar.
you.
Thank you, sir, for the detailed feedback. Rutuparna, yes, I hope you got the point that yes, sometimes by giving lengthy answers, you are troubling yourself and inviting trouble for yourself. Also, I believe that in the last time I had asked about Saptapadi, I had also told you the answer. Then why today also you committed the same mistake?
So, I, um, so I became nervous a bit. So
Just
sorry.
before 2 days, I had told you Saptapadi is not a requirement. Yes, Saptapadi or any such custom that is there, any such like custom. So ijasdem generis any such custom of like nature. If hataganti is there, then that will be done. If anything is there, if some people have this sindur, that is there. So that is
Yes.
not a requirement. Saptapadi is not a requirement. Anyway, next is I asked that yes, Citizenship Amendment Act. You could not say properly. Yes, it was about an issue where immigrants were immigrants from of all other religions were given citizenship except the Muslims, and that was the fuss about. Okay,
Yes.
and confession and plead guilty. The difference is confession is during the investigation by recorded by a magistrate. But plead guilty when the trial commences, while framing charge, he is asked whether he pleads guilty or not. If he says he pleads guilty, then magistrate in his discretion may convict, otherwise may proceed with the trial.
Yes.
Okay. What is a bench warrant? When you commit a contempt of court, the warrant that is issued by the court, that is called a bench warrant. Okay. What is a formal arrest? When you don't physically arrest the person and rather just effect the arrest through papers, that is called formal arrest. Especially in cases where the person is already in custody. So, if you want to remand him in another case, the arrest that you will do is not only formal arrest. Okay.
Yes.
And confession of co-accused, yes, mentioned that. Locus poenitentiae test, that is a test to write down locus, Locus, Poeni, Poeni, Tentiae, locus poe, Poenitentiae, locus poenitentiae test is a test to distinguish between attempt and preparation, where the chance of repent is there. So I took a van, and in the van I have fixed a bomb and I took it to a school. Okay, seeing the school children, I did not. My mind was changed, and I did not want to blow the building up. So that's why I came back. That is, I had the chance of repent, and I came back. So that will not be attempt. That will be preparation. But once
Yes.
I am preparing to blow, but then I am caught, then that will be attempt. So once the chance of repent is gone, that is covered under locus ponentia test. What else? Non-compos mentis means not of sound mind. Non-compos mentis means not of sound mind.
Yes, sir.
Okay, afferent right you mentioned. 125 also you mentioned. So probate also you mentioned. Yes, probate is not probate is actually when yes you mentioned to some extent. So what I mean to say is your conceptual clarity is there, but because you are not giving precise answer, you are troubling yourself. So that's
Yes.
why revise more and be confident. I'm sure you will do well in the interview. And I know I have seen your papers time and again say you are one of the brightest candidates for me. So don't be complacent, revise more, and I
Yes,
see
sir.
you clearing it this time.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Okay?
sir. So I
Thank
just wanted to ask,
Yes.
so like, if mark will be given, how much will I be marked from the interview, sir?
See, don't focus on the marks.
Yes.
The way it is going, I don't think they will fail you at all. Okay, they will fail. They will chance of failing in the interview. Like if this interview is the final interview, then I don't think you would fail the interview. You definitely pass the interview. How much marks will be given? That is discretionary again because it differs from code to code. I mean, the person to person. But then anyway, if you do well in the interview and if you have done well in the mains, then
Yes,
how
sir.
much mark you will secure in the interview, that will make no difference whether whether you'll clear or not. To decide that, it will make no difference. Probably to decide the rank, it might make a difference. But right now, our job is to clear. Even if it is the last rank, we should be still happy.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So just for now, focus on the process. Don't focus on the marks or anything.
Yes, sir.
And if you do that, I'm sure you'll get good marks.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Namaskar, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.